be the thing to do. So if you're going to testify, if you'll all raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct? So help you God.
I
Yes.
do.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Leake, you may proceed, sir.
State your name for the record, please.
Oh, Thomas Charles Mizell.
And Mr. Mizell, Sandra Lynn Mizell was your wife,
Correct.
and Miss Mizell is deceased.
Yes.
Now, Miss Mizell passed away on November 18, 2017 at the age of 72. Is that correct?
Correct.
And 4 years have elapsed since the date of her passing, but the delay in filing this probate matter was due to COVID shutdowns and the concerns associated with COVID. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, your wife, Sandra Lynn Mizell, was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Anahuac, Chambers County, Texas, at the time of her passing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is it your testimony that you acknowledge that this court has jurisdiction over the estate of Sandra Lynn Mizell, that the venue is correct?
Correct. Yes.
Is it your testimony that citation has been served upon everyone required and returned in the manner and length of time required by the Texas Probate Code?
Yes.
Now, your wife signed her will on January 2nd, 2006, correct?
Yes.
And in her last will and testament, she appointed you, Charles Thomas Mizell, to serve as independent executor. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were to serve independently without bond or security. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you are not disqualified from applying for the issuance of and acceptance of letters testamentary, correct?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, Sandra Lynn Mizell will was never revoked or superseded. Is that correct?
Yes.
And no state, federal, or any governmental agency nor charitable organization is named in the will as a devotee or beneficiary, correct?
Correct.
Now, after the date of the will, no child was born or adopted by Sandra Lynn Mizell, correct?
Correct.
And no marriage of Sandra Mizell was ever dissolved after the will was made, correct?
Correct.
Your testimony that to the best of your knowledge, again, that you are not disqualified by law from accepting letters testamentary or from serving as executor and therefore entitled to such letters testamentary as the executor named in Sandra Lynn Mizell's will.
Yes.
Are you asking this court to probate this will? Are you asking the court to probate this will?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, hereby admit the will to probate and authorize letters. Thank you, Mr. Leake. Tommy, good to see you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right, calls number 63, the state of Fujiko Sanye. Mr. Buller.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You may proceed, Counselor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Barbara, do you have your mic on?
Yes.
Excellent. Good morning. Would you please tell us your full name?
Barbara Sonia Vincent.
Okay. And are you related to Fujiko Sanye?
Yes, she's my mother.
Okay. And we're here today about probating her will. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Vincent, did you formerly go by Barbara Ann Sanye Darby?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's changed as a result of divorce and remarriage. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Fujiko Sanye, your mother, did she die on June 2, 2023?
Yes, sir.
And was her passing in Chambers County, Texas?
Yes, sir.
She was 93 years old at the time of her death. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so 4 years have not elapsed since the time of her death. Is that correct?
Correct.
When she passed, was she residing in Chambers County, Texas?
Yes, sir.
And is it your testimony today that you believe the court has jurisdiction over her estate?
Yes, sir.
And is it your testimony today that citation has been issued, posted, and served in accordance with the law?
Yes, sir.
The will that's been filed with the court dated December 16, 1991. Are you familiar with that document?
Yes, sir.
And To your knowledge, it has never been revoked since it was executed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. At the time of executing her will, was Miss Saunier at least 18 years of age?
Yes.
And then some, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Was she in good health and of sound mind at the time?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And as far as you know, the will was executed with all the formalities and solemnities under the law as required to make a valid will?
Yes, sir.
And were there any children born or adopted by Miss Saunier after she executed her will?
None.
Okay. Was there ever any marriage dissolved after she executed her will?
No.
Okay. Does the will name any state or governmental agency as a devisee?
No.
Does the will name any charitable organization as a devisee?
No.
Okay. The will originally identifies Joseph Michael Saunier to be the independent executor. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And who was Joseph Michael Saunier?
He was my brother.
Unfortunately, Mr. Saunier has passed on as well, correct?
Correct.
And in the event of his death, does the will appoint you to be the independent executor?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And are you willing and able to fulfill that obligation?
Yes.
Okay. And the will doesn't require you to post any kind of bond, is that correct?
Correct.
You've never been convicted of any felony, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it's your testimony today that you believe you are otherwise qualified to serve as the independent executor and not disqualified, is that correct?
Correct.
And you're asking the court to probate Ms. Saunier's will today, is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
I think that's it, Your Honor.
All right, everybody met the will of probate and authorized letters. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
It's been written. All right, cause number 66, the state of Larry Bollock. Mr. Rodriguez, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm fine. You may proceed.
Larry Bollock, also known as Larry Joseph Bollock, died on June 23rd, 2023 in Houston, Harris County, Texas, at the age of 72 years, and 4 years have not elapsed since the date of decedent's death. Decedent was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County at the date of death. The document dated November 15, 2022, which was filed with the court and which purports to be decedent's will, was never revoked, so far as I know. As far as I know, no child or children were born to or adopted by decedent after the date of the will. As far as I know, no marriage of the decedent was ever dissolved after the date the will was made. Neither the state of Texas, a governmental agency, nor a charitable organization is named as a devisee in the will of the decedent. And Susan Bollock, the independent executor named in the will, is not disqualified by law from accepting letters testamentary or from serving as such, and is entitled to such letters. That's all that I have, Your Honor. We'd ask that the will be submitted to
All right,
probate.
everybody met the will of probate and authorized letters. Thank you,
All
Counselor.
right, Your Honor. Thank you.
There's got to be a button to hit in.
Cause number 69, the state of Robbie Lynn Murphy. Mr. Cotton,
Good morning, Judge.
morning again.
Yes, I can.
You may proceed. Counselor.
Robbie Lynn Murphy died July 6, 2023 in Houston, Harris County, Texas, at the age of 73 years. 4 years have not elapsed since his death. He had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County at the time of his death, and he died testate. With this will, I'm looking at a copy of, Judge, and you have the original in your possession. We'd ask you to take judicial notice of that.
So now,
And the will was signed January 21st, 2015, and was never revoked so far as I know. And the decedent did not apply for nor receive Medicaid benefits on or after March the 1st. There is a necessity, March the 1st, 2005. There is a necessity for the administration of this estate. And there's no state, governmental agency, or charitable organization named in the will as a devisee. There were no child or children born to or adopted by the decedent after the date of the will, and no marriage was ever dissolved after the date the will was made. Her will named Diane K. Garden to serve as the independent executor and to act independently and without bonds. She is qualified and not disqualified to accept letters and act as the independent executor judge, and would ask that she be appointed as such. It is a small estate and would ask that the appraisers be waived.
By Mr. Will to probate and authorize the letters. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You can't. We're gonna
Thank you.
go right into the,
Yeah, please don't excuse him, Judge.
yeah, I'm not. Weston, you still there? Are you tricking us or what?
What can I do?
All right, we're going into guardianship, cause number 56, in the interest of Elizabeth Rose Burwell.
All right.
Mr. Fuller, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Burwell has already been sworn. Ms. Burwell, would you state your name for the court?
Tanya Doris Burwell.
And you are the mother of the proposed ward, Elizabeth Rose Burwell. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're a joint applicant along with your husband, Alan Burwell, who is the father of the proposed ward. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you reside on River Oaks Drive in Chambers County, Texas. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's also where Elizabeth resides with you. Is
Correct.
that right? All right. And could you just briefly describe to the court her physical and mental limitations that could cause us to file this application for guardianship?
Elizabeth cannot read or write, and she has no understanding of numbers, and she is not capable of taking care of herself.
Your Honor, I would offer into evidence the physician's certificate of medical examination, a copy of which has been filed with the court.
All right, no objection from that item, so it's accepted in the records.
Ms. Burwell, you and I have discussed, and you've gone through the guardianship training program, have you not? And considered any alternatives to a guardianship?
Correct.
And were there any alternatives that would be available or that be feasible in this case?
Not to my recollection.
Okay. And as far as the ability of Elizabeth, she's not able to make business or financial decisions, is she?
No, sir.
How about, can she manage a bank account?
No, sir.
Would she be able to safely operate a motor vehicle?
Absolutely not.
Could she vote in a public election?
No, sir.
Make a decision regarding marriage?
No, sir.
Could she determine her own residence?
No, sir.
Is she able to administer her own medications on a daily basis?
No, sir.
And do you feel like that it's in her best interest to appoint you and Alan Burwell, her father, as the joint guardians of her person?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Cotton.
Good morning, Ms. Burwell. We met in your home and talked at length. And everything that you've told Roy are the things that you have told me. And Judge, I have no objection. I fully concur. I would ask that you excuse her from being here today because I don't think she could contribute anything, and it might serve more to upset her than it would be to resolve anything.
Yes, sir.
Judge, that's all I have. I concur that the guardianship is necessary, and she had no objection to it.
All right, Mr. Fuller, anything else?
No, Your Honor. We would ask the court to set a very nominal bond.
Okay, so requesting to appoint joint guardians of the person, and that's so done. And appointee fees, $700. I'm approving those. So it's the guardian just of the person, not of the state.
That's correct, Your Honor. We're not asking for the estate.
All right, I'm gonna set a $50 bond, cash bond. Is there anything else I missed?
I don't note anything. I think that's all covered, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge.
Judge.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Cotton.